Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and as expected, Apple has released the third beta of iOS 26.2. Now, the first couple of betas had been released on a Wednesday, and this one released on Monday, as we expected Apple to move more towards the beginning of the week with releasing these new betas. So now we're on the usual schedule of releasing the new betas for iOS 26.2 beta, which is again a great update, and this third update makes it even better. So before we get into the video and we talk all about this update, I just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. I've noticed that most of you guys that watch my videos are still not subscribed to the channel, so if you're enjoying the videos and you want to see more of them, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. Now, first of all, let's talk about the size of the update. Now, as you can see right here, the third beta of iOS 26.2 came in at around 1.3 gigabytes. Of course, this will be different based on which device you have and from which software you're updating to the third beta, but again, it should be somewhere around 1.3 gigabytes on every device. Now, the build number for this particular software update is really interesting. So this right here is the new build number for iOS 26.2 Beta 3. Now, as we talked about before, we were expecting around 5 betas for iOS 26.2, but based on this build number, I believe that we are getting only 4 betas, and we should get iOS 26.2 a bit earlier than we expected, of course, released to the public. As you can see right here, 23C5044B is the new build number for iOS 26.2 Beta 3. Ending with a B, indicating that there will probably be another beta that will have a build number ending with A, and then we will move to the RC, and then of course the final release. Even though this is not confirmed, of course, we can get another beta with a build number that doesn't have the A at the end, which usually is the last one, but this indicates that this is the last beta before the one ending with an A, and then the RC and the final release. Now, this update does bring some really interesting new features, like this one right here for AirDrop. Now, if you go to your settings, you go under General and then go to AirDrop right here, you will see something called Manage Known AirDrop Contacts. Now, this is a new feature that will allow you to stay connected with an unknown contact for 30 days using a PIN code. So what will happen is that when you send someone something that you don't have on your contacts, then that person, the unknown device, will have to provide you with a PIN code. When you enter that PIN code from the other device, then the devices will basically stay connected for 30 days. So now, when sending like a file, a photo, whatever it is, via AirDrop to that contact, even though it's unknown, it won't require anything because you have it with the PIN and you have it basically there for 30 days, which is actually quite a useful new feature. There's an update to the Measure app as well. As you probably know, with the second beta, we have a redesigned Measure app, and the level right here was a bit annoying because you couldn't see the numbers here in the middle. Now that problem has actually been fixed, and everything will be very smooth, and you will be able to see every number with the new liquid glass design of the Measure app. As you probably know, with iOS 26.2, Apple has finally brought all the cool liquid glass animations that we saw at WWDC 2025. And you will notice it right here, they have actually been improved even more with iOS 26.2 Beta 3. You can see there the animation of that pop-up. It is actually really good. So you will see something like this across all the animations on your device, which is really awesome. As you probably know, with iOS 26.2, if you go under Display and Brightness, you will have now the option to change the liquid glass on your device. So there we will have the options for clear and tinted, but if you have reduced transparency or increased contrast enabled on your device, then you will see this pop up right here. it says turn off reduced transparency. In this case, I have reduced transparency turned on my device. It will say you cannot change the preference lock for liquid glass while reduced transparency is on, and you can go ahead and turn it off from here, and then of course you will be able to choose between clear and tinted. Now, another really cool feature that actually has been found on the code of iOS 26.2 is the ability to customize the side button. That has actually been found, and there is also something new for users in Japan with iOS 26.2 Beta 3. They will be able now to use a third-party assistant with the side button instead of Siri. So that probably is what it is, and hopefully that will be available to other users as well. But currently on the code, there is basically the code that says that you can customize the side button, and currently in Japan they will be able to actually switch from Siri to something else and still use it with the side button. There is also a new splash screen when you open your account for the first time on your settings with iOS 26.2 Beta 3, Apple account and privacy, basically letting you know about the privacy of your Apple account. And there will be another splash screen for Apple TV. What's new in Apple TV? Apple TV Plus is now simply Apple TV, basically letting you know the rebranding of the Apple TV Plus. So these are the new features and changes that you will be able to find on your device once you update it to iOS 26.2. Of course, there will be more, but we will find out about all the other changes in the next days, and we will talk about them on the next video. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar here and see what to expect next from iOS 26.2. Well, based on the build number of Beta 3, I would expect to have another beta before the RC and then the final release. Now, as you could see this week, with the release happening on a Monday, Apple has basically gone to their usual schedule. So the 24th of November, next Monday, is the day that I believe Apple will release the fourth beta of iOS 26.2. In that case, if that beta follows the build number of this one, which ends with an B, and that one will end with an A, then most likely that will be the last beta before the final release. Of course, between that beta and the final release, we will also have another release, which will be the RC version of iOS 26.2, which is the last basically release that goes out to the devs and public testers before the final release, and that should be out on December the 1st. That should be the date that we get the RC of iOS 26.2. After that, of course, the 8th of December should be the date that we finally get iOS 26.2 released to the public. This is basically the time schedule that we're looking at every time based on the build number of the last beta. If that holds, and of course the next beta will end with an A, then expect iOS 26.2 to be released to the public by the 8th of December. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and you found it helpful. If you did, smash that like button, and of course don't forget to subscribe for more videos if you want to be updated and stay updated with the latest Apple updates and news and everything new. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next one.